Alright, so it's Saturday and it is a new day. So what goes? I'm going to weed the garden. That's what I'm going to do. See how that, I don't know, it needs to get done. I've kind of neglected it for 3 weeks. That quackgrass needs to get on top of again, and just kind of everything's kind of, how do you say, kind of been caught up on things. So yeah, actually early this morning, and I'm saying like 1, I went out and I checked the swarm hive. I was intending to bring it home, but maybe, I don't know, the bees were still on the outside of the box, so it was a warm night. It could have done that. So I left it there for now. I figured I want to move it when they're actually all in there, and then I can close it and not have to deal with extra bees like that. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe they need to settle in there a little bit. Maybe they should build a little bit and then I can move them. But ideally, I like to move them sooner the better. The sooner they're established, the better, in my opinion. I also at some point have to go and thin the corn, sorghum, sunflowers. That all still needs to be done. But today I'm going to focus on the main garden. It's nice right now because of the shade, so we'll do that. And then yeah, I also probably at some point today I'll go over to a friend's place and help design a chicken coop for him, because he wants to get chickens, so good for him. But yeah, he needs some help with designing it. So I got one under my belt, so I can assist him with some of that, and oh yeah, we'll see how things go. Alright, so the garden is weeded, coffee break is done, and I'm trying to figure out where to go from here. I think I'm going to go divide the comfrey. That's something I want to do anyways. Might as well do it. I got 2 of them over there. One's just about to flower, but I think I'll cut that one back and divide that as well. You know, it's a small investment now, but it pays off later, and then at least we can get things started. Actually, I have one at my parents' place, and that thing is huge. So they like the sun. That's the issue where I have mine now. They don't have the sun. But there's a lot of mosquitoes out. I'll say that. I blame the grass, but I need to cut that at some point. I just don't have the mower or animals to graze it down, which is the ideal method. That's why I would like to get something going, some sort of animal system in there. Especially with all the beehives, something that, you know, something that eats the grass, you know, employees, if you will, animals that work for you. That, I mean, it's just, I think it's a better way to do it, and they fertilize it too while they're at it, so it's a win-win. So yeah, I'll go get the shovels and then start dividing and planting comfrey then. All right, so I got there's a cherry tree. That's more like a cherry bush. Nanking cherry here, and then one right behind. So this is the middle. This is where I want to plant my comfrey. So, you know, I can just chop, drop, and it goes there. So just clear a little area. This is one of the my favorite tools around here, and I don't know what they actually call it. I bought it off of a Frenchman for when I was looking for an axe. He says it's Portuguese, and the closest thing I can find to it is a billhook machete. But yeah, it is, you know, handmade. It's, I mean, that the evidence is on there, but it's a really nice tool. I find use for it because it's got an edge here. It's got an edge here, and yeah, you keep it sharp, and like you saw, it'll cut the grass right easy. It also got this nice edge around there. I can kind of, you know, if you want to plant something, kind of scrape the top layer off. It makes pretty quick work of it. And I don't like digging with it too much, to be honest, but looks like I found something here. This looks, that's charcoal. Looks like I get them in the soil right away. That's the ants. Alright. But that's why I have a shovel too. And this is a very quick, you know, it doesn't need to be much. Trying to loosen the soil a bit. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, I probably haven't shown this before, but around here I'm a part-time archaeologist. And I believe it was this cherry here. I dug in there, and yeah, there was a whole coil of barbed wire. That was a fun day. And I found more of it. Oh no, it is a coil. Oh no. I can see it. Oh boy. Why? There's a little, you know, for folks out there, if you have to dispose of barbed wire, I mean, please just, I don't know, sell it for scrap, something, you know. Don't bury it in your lawn. Because the next guy that digs there 20, 30 years later is going to have a right time with it, trying to fish it out from 2-3 inches of sod. Okay, I'm going to pause here and go from there. Alright, so back to our regularly scheduled program. gonna I'll take more of these cuttings and plant them in here. So yeah, it's annoying when that happens. So yeah, you get a bucket full of the gold wire mixed with hinges, screws, and yeah, and some nails. I did this 2 years ago, I think, digging that one in. Of course, this wasn't the only bundle. Now, is it all gone? Undoubtedly not. It's probably still there, but it doesn't look even. But there's going to be iron in the ground still, but you know what, there is a silver lining in this, and at least it wasn't barbed wire. That stuff is a nightmare to deal with. This was just straight wire. So yeah, well, that's as simple as that. We'll see how it does. I've actually never divided Comfrey before. We'll water them in still, and then go from there. I'm just going to keep adding them around the place, and I'll probably cut one more plant, show you how I do that, dig that one up and dividing it. But yeah, we'll see how they take. It's exciting to see how I hear they're very hardy plants, so you can't really go wrong with them. Alrighty, so it's a bit of a funny shot because this Comfrey is growing under a choke cherry, but you can see it's pretty tall, and the base of it is right here. So I want to divide this one. All I'm going to do is harvest it. It's a shame because it's it's got such pretty flowers on there. Now we can see the root there. Now I have to get a shovel. I'm gonna try the long one because they got long roots. So try something like that. All right. Yeah, I'm sitting on. There's a bad spot for it, so. So, we've got some long roots on there. Those roots can be cut up too and divided. Just toss those back in the ground. You see those roots are cut off, so there's going to be roots in there. So, and since it's not the best spot for the plant, I'm going to leave it there. What I can do is kind of divide it. There's a real special technique to it, but again, pretty hardy plant, and so I do have these crowns, I guess they call them, and roots. See how some of these do. These can be split up as well. planted around the place. And who knows, maybe I'm doing this completely wrong, but time will tell. I'll have to get some pruners in here too, but it's pretty sharp too. Okay, so we got these cuttings here, and you could probably divide them further, but I'm just gonna leave healthier pieces in. There's more root. You know, find pieces of it, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised if that came back. But for now, we're gonna work with what we have here, and just go squirrel gardening. Okay, it's a warm one again. So I just finished dividing the comfrey. Actually, I forget how many I have. I actually didn't count it. But yeah, we started between the cherry trees here. I still have to clean this up, but that's kind of the loose wire. This is topsoil that is, I will call it contaminated topsoil. There's probably still wire in there. So we have just between these are Nanking cherries. We put 2 in there. Forget what kind that is. It's another one, but we have these 2 Romeo and Juliets. You put one in front of there. The apple trees, they got some treatment. They got 1, 2, again 1, 2, and here's a neat little plant. It's called dockweed. And yeah, most of the farmers around here, it's a weed, but to me it's a perennial grain. You can use it as a grain, and I tried that last year. It's actually quite prolific. It has a pretty decent yield, and the seed that comes off of it, there's a lot of chaff and a lot of seed, but the seed is so small and the chaff is so light that I just grind the whole thing together, and it works really nicely. You get kind of a, I don't know, I mix it in with wheat flour, and then you kind of get almost a molasses-like taste to the bread. You get a darker bread. It's nice. This is one of the new bare root trees. It's an apple, a fall red, and yeah, I got one there and one there. That one is actually everything up until this point was crowns, so that you know the top of them. But that is just a root. And then go to the next section. Alright, so here you are by the chicken coop, and along the fence here you can see these are all where the root cuttings went in. So yeah, this should be, you know, if they take. Then I got some on the other side of the cornfield there. I'm kind of straddling that bush line there. There's a few, and then I put some between some maples, 2 of them between the maples back there. I got a plum back there, and it's it'd be nice to get that some mulch too, because the big idea for everything by the fruit trees is for mulch. The ones here by the chickens, it's more for the chickens, and I guess compost as well, and it can be used around here. And the ones out there by past the corn is I anticipate more for those posts in the ground. Between each post is a grapevine. Those 2 didn't make it the winter, but these were just bare root cuttings. So last year, my parents have a vine. I just snipped some branches and I stuck them in the ground. They all took, but only 4 out of 6 made the winter. So yeah, those I'd like to amend that area, make it dark, kill the grass off, and just kind of lay a mulch in there, and then plant strawberries there as well. And that should help it through the winter as well. The more layers, more mulch, more insulation for the winter, and it's just nice kicking strawberries around. It's just you can have almost again, it's like a ground mulch. Also want to point these out. I forget what they were called again, but it's a, I hear it's kind of invasive, but it just grows on the lawn here. It's a mint of sorts, and yeah, I was figuring I should cut some of these, dry them, and see what kind of a tea they make, because they say, as far as we know, that there's no bad mint out there. So but yeah, so see where the day goes, and go from there. It's a warm one, I say that. It's you don't want to be sitting around the sun too long, but that's when you just got to get stuff done. So we'll see where the day goes. So just give a little highlight. That was the, remember that was the roll of wire I pulled out earlier when digging the Comfrey. So yeah, it's nice. It's not barbed, so that was a silver lining. But I also wanted to highlight this bin here. Let's see, get this stone off. But this is my worm bin. So I start them up every summer, and you can see them in there. These are just, I mean, it's just going nice in here. Oh, there they are. So I was going to add to it again. I just peeked in here today and saw what was going on, and it's moist, it's damp, and they're just breaking this stuff down nicely. So I'm gonna go around, cut some grass, probably get some leaves, and you can find like a mixture of stuff. So because what you put in is what you get for your soil. So you know, you get something of a little bit of, you get diversity in what you cut. So I know there's a lot of like clover that'll get you, I don't know, it's protein, nitrogen. There's just mix it up and you should be good. Okay? Went ahead and picked some of the mint, and just take some yarn. And this is where actually there used to be Christmas lights running down the whole house. So this is where I hang a lot of my herbs and, you know, stuff for tea. I just let it dry there. So I've never tried this stuff before, but we'll see how it turns out. Alrighty, so not much really happened after the Comfrey, so I went out to town, and then I visited a friend. He wants chickens, but he needs a coop, and he was asking for help on designing one. So yeah, I spent some time with him, and we kind of puzzled some things out and scratched some stuff up, and we got a pretty decent idea of where he wants to go. Because I built a coop myself, but I built a stationary one. He wants a mobile one, so I haven't done that before, and at some point I'd like to get rabbits too. So I don't know, this was a good exercise for both of us. See kind of coop hutch designs, and it was fruitful, so it was good. Right now I'm not sure where to go with things, to be honest. I'm still thinking I'd like to get that swarm home at some point at night, this night. I don't think all the bees are gonna go in again, but I'll try to like sweep them into a separate box, and I think I'll put the swarm hive and the box completely in the new hive. So we'll try that, and yeah, I might divide the last Comfrey. That I have one more piece growing around here. It's not in a good spot, so it might as well be divided, and maybe move some hives around again. So we'll see where the day goes. All right, I think it should be bright enough, but yeah, I didn't film nothing since I got home, but so I was at my parents'. I set up that hive. It's tucked away. The as you can see, the Dutch hive is gone. That is now over there. I even forgot to take a picture, but sometimes how it goes. How do you see? Yeah, it's, I don't know if you can see the skies around here, but they're pretty dark. So they were darker, and man, I really hope it rains. But I was thinking if it did rain, then it would be nice to get some. I had a few plants in the greenhouse still, so I put in 3 more eggplants because they were just sitting there. I put in 1 more butternut squash, along the back with the other 4 Thelma sanders that I put in yesterday, and I did button up because they're a different variety. What is it, you little rascal? Yo. You know, he was doing a good job today too. I saw him, he was prowling, chasing rabbits. Well, I wouldn't say chasing, but more like stalking. He was keeping an eye on them. And it's quite a wonder. The rabbits have not messed with my tomatoes. Now, that could also be because, well, they haven't messed with it yet either, but what I did was on each of the strings, I make this, they call it this bone sauce. Now I did like this, what is, it's a German fellow, I forget the name again, Seth Holzer, but he had this, it's basically charred, you're basically taking the extracts from the bones in a zero oxygen environment under fire. It's basically the fat and the marrow. It's the good stuff. I put it on all my trees. It's as a deer repellent. So far, I've had notorious deer issues, but you know, out there, nothing this year yet. We'll see how it goes. And I schmurtz that stuff on those ropes there too, to kind of deter the rabbits. But they don't mess with my corn or the sunflowers too, and it's kind of interesting. And I have a feeling it's because I haven't mowed. There's so much forage around that they're used to and that they know that I guess they don't bother with the rest. Well, either way, I wonder if you see something. You see something, boy? Yeah, I see. I reseeded some carrots, reseeded some beets, reseeded. Yeah, those the germination rates were just poor. I think I sowed them poorly the first time, but we'll see this time around, and hopefully it's. I mean, still it's June 3rd now. It's pretty decent, I think. Beets especially, that's no problem. But carrots get a little bit on the iffy side, I guess. They should have been planted much sooner than I did, but either way, that's what I was up to. And mosquitoes are getting right fierce now. Yeah, they're gonna go wrap things up and do a study on biochar. That's I'm hearing good things about that, and I think that's it's worth looking into. So that's where my research is going to focus on. Take some notes, figure that stuff out, and then go from there. But yeah, let's see. If you watched this far, thanks for watching, and take care.